Good morning, folks. Welcome to a weekly vlog. It is Monday, 13th of January, and I pulled a muscle in my back this morning, which I can definitely feel doing exercise. This is why we don't do exercise. No, I'm kidding. It's why we warm up properly before doing exercise, which I mustn't have done, even though I thought I had done. I'm being a cliche and using the new year as an excuse to rethink the way I approach exercise, because I do quite a bit of walking, day walks at the weekends, make sure I get my step count in during the week wherever possible, etc. But I don't really do any cardio, and I should, because we're all getting older, need to take care of our bodies. As you know, my body I feel needs quite a bit of care anyway. And yeah, we're all getting older. I'm turning 33 at the weekend, and I thought I should get my bum in gear and do, I was going to say more cardio, any cardio. So in the mornings I am doing dance workouts, which are quite fun. You can find lots of tutorials for those on YouTube. And then in the evening I am currently doing the Yoga with Adriene 30-day challenge, which I realise is not cardio. I'm not including that in the cardio bit. It's just, if we're talking about exercise and looking after our bodies, that's something that I am currently doing. I have a question. If anyone who is watching this knows of anyone in London who is a hairdresser who often cuts the hair of people who have alopecia, can you please let me know? Because since getting alopecia, which if you don't know what that is, it's where your hair falls out, and I have bald patches all around the back of my head. Since starting to get alopecia, I have not been to a hairdresser, and I've been cutting my hair myself for years. I think it's all right. It's okay. I don't have my glasses on. Maybe that's why it looks okay. I think it's all right. It's not the best and it's not the worst. But every so often, I wouldn't mind going to see someone to get them to tidy it up a bit. And it's just a bit, I don't know, I feel a bit vulnerable going to just a ordinary hairdresser and getting that done. So if anyone happens to have, excuse me, if anyone happens to have any recommendations, do let me know. I thought that I would do a vlog this week. I haven't done one in a while. I don't think I've done one in a few months. So I thought I would vlog, show you what I'm up to work-wise, show you what I'm reading. As I mentioned, it's my birthday at the weekend. We don't normally do stuff for my birthday. I'm not really a birthday person. It kind of stresses me out a bit, but Mr. M is taking me away for the weekend. We're going to the countryside, which is lovely. So I thought I would take you along with me to that. It appears that I have accidentally dressed as a minion again. It is Tuesday now. Yesterday I was mostly doing editorial work for other people. Today I have recorded 2 videos this morning. I've edited one and scheduled it, and I'll sort out the other one this evening. And now I am editing my own work. I'm editing a short story that I've written for an anthology called Outsiders that's being published in May. It has short stories in it from me, Kirsty Logan, Julia Armfield, Irenosen Okojie, and lots of other cool people. So if you fancy pre-ordering it, I'll link it down below. I'm at the stage where I'm just reading it aloud to myself 20 times and questioning every comma and torturing myself. And if that is not part of the writing process, then I've been doing it wrong all of these years. It's called Miss Juniper's Academy for Lost Girls at the moment. That may change. Titles are always the last thing that I do because it's so difficult to name something till you've seen it in its finished form. I'm gonna get back to it. I will see you later. It is much later, friends. It is 11 o'clock at night. I did mean to stop earlier and do some reading. I've just been working all evening because I found an application for writing commission, and I've never actually applied for anything like that before, but there's a specific project where an organisation is looking for writers. You okay? She's just hiding. Is looking for writers to write on a certain topic, and then you have to pitch yourself and say why you would be a good person to do that. And yeah, as I said, I've never pitched myself for something like that. I've sent work in that I've already written to be considered for projects, but I've never done something in advance to then be funded to do a certain project. But that's what I've spent my evening doing. I think I'm gonna have a bath and then read a short story. and go to bed. I think Lola's already gone to bed by the looks of it. This dog is ridiculous. How are you? Lola, would you like to go for a walk? Friday, and as well as working, I've been looking out of the window because we had a very beautiful woodpecker outside today. We don't normally see those, but this one was a fully grown one with an amazing red tail. He then got scared off by the squirrel who comes into our garden to terrorize our bird feeder. And I know that that would annoy a lot of people, but I kind of admire him. Is that weird? Whatever we do to this bird feeder, he's not put off. He accepts the challenge. Whatever we do to the lid to try and keep it on, he will get that lid off. And I am fascinated watching him and his dexterity. He works on it for ages, and I just feel as though if you work that hard, you deserve what's inside. Please have it. So yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Today I am working full toast, so I'm writing an article about Elizabeth's Lists by Lula Ellender, which was one of my favourite books of last year. So I am glad that I am writing about it in more depth. But I also wanted to sit down and talk to you a little bit about something today. A few months ago, Writing Magazine got in touch with me, which is a magazine that looks like this. I have seen it knocking around for years. I've never read it myself until now, and I've very much regret having not read it before now. They asked if they could send me some of their magazines so that I could look through them, and if I liked what I saw, would I share that with you? Because I know that so many of you, and they knew that so many of you, are interested in writing in various different forms. So I said yes, please, and they sent them to me. And honestly, I don't know what I was expecting from these magazines, but I was so impressed with them. I'm impressed with the range of stuff covered. So if we just look at the cover of this one here. So it says in here, there's 5 exercises to stop writer's block, perfect your first chapter, an author experience on agents, something on how to write YA fantasy, and a competition guide. This competition guide is ridiculous. I'm going to be using it myself. So in here is every writing competition that they could find from January to June 2020, with all of the entry details, the websites where you need to go to, the fees for entering. It's an excellent resource. I already had a few resources that I used for poetry competitions and short story competitions, but they didn't collate everything. I had to do extra research myself on top of that. This is amazing. These magazines seem to be a wonderful resource for whatever kind of writing you do, whether you're a blogger, whether you're a journalist, whether you're wanting to write fiction, non-fiction, whatever genre of fiction. And something that I really loved and made me feel quite emotional, honestly, when I was reading these, is that it really instills a sense of community. And writing can be a bit of a lonely business. I mean, I love my job, but it can be lonely. As you will have seen this week, it's just been me and my desk so far. So at the beginning of each issue, they have letters to the editor, which I know is not unusual because lots of magazines have that. But reading through these letters has filled me with warmth, just to remember that there are so many other people out there who are also attempting to do this ridiculous thing that we call writing. This magazine is hopeful as well as helpful, plus it has writing advice for both traditional publishing and self-publishing, depending on what route you're interested in going down. There's also an app that goes alongside the writing magazine with lots of vital information in there, including that all-important competition stuff that I mentioned before. Stuff, a very technical word. When I've spoken before about getting published and building up your writing CV, if you are writing poetry and short stories in particular, it's so important competent to get your work placed in literary journals and competitions before approaching agents about bigger projects. So it's definitely worth checking out. If you happen to be interested, if you want to find out more, I have a code that Writing Magazine have given me that will get you 25% off a magazine subscription, and that's available worldwide. I'll link it at the top of the description box down below. You can also download the app on Apple or Android and start a 7-day free trial. When I was going through their August 2019 issue, because they sent me quite a few back issues to look through, I found this interview and article about Aisha Malik, who's an author that I've been meaning to read for ages. And I was particularly reminded of that last week because Lena included her most recent novel, This Green and Pleasant Land, in her Best Books of 2019 video. So that, coupled with this article here, has reminded me I would like to buy that book. It says here, before the storyline begins, accountant Bilal and his journalist wife Mariam have lived happily in Babel End, where they are the only Asian family in the village. Bilal's mother is dying, and she says she wants Bilal, as her dying wish, to build a mosque in the village, and then it goes from there. So I'm really interested to read that. And for Christmas, Holly over at Holly Dunn Design very kindly sent me a book voucher. So I have a meeting in town this afternoon. So after I go to that meeting, I'm going to stop by Foyles and see if they have a copy of This Green and Pleasant Land. I would also like to see if they have a copy of In the Dream House as well, because that has just been published in the UK. So I will take you book shopping with me, but first I need to write this article. Much later now. It is nearly 8:10. You may be able to hear Mr. M in the background. We're just packing so that we can leave for the weekend, but I thought I would show you one of these on my books. I went to the Body Shop and refilled my shower gel things. I really hope that they roll these out in more Body Shop shops, because at the moment they only have them in the Regent Street branch. But I went to Foyles and bought 3 books. Naughty, but I did use the gift card that Holly got me, so thank you, Holly. I will obviously have messaged her separately. So I bought In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado, and I've heard so many good things about this. I've read some of her stories from her collection, what's it called? Her Body and Other Parties. I've read some of her stories. So this is about abusive relationships and about abusive queer relationships, I think. So it's her memoir. I'm looking forward to reading that. I also bought the Aisha Malik book that I was talking about, This Green and Pleasant Land. And I've also heard really good things about this, which is Anne Yu's Braised Pork. And this is about a woman who finds her husband dead in the bathtub of their Beijing apartment. Next to him is a piece of folded paper, a sketch of a strange creature from his dream. He has left no other sign. So I'm looking forward to reading that one too. I'm not going to take those with me on our weekend away though. I'm going to take The Other Bennett Sister by Janice Hadlow, which is the retelling of Pride and Prejudice from Mary's point of view. And I'm also going to take The Devil's Footprints by John Burnside, which is the book that I'm reading for our Patreon book club. And on the way home, I was very naughty and I went into the Hummingbird Bakery and got 2 cupcakes, but then I did, in classy fashion, drop them on the floor as soon as I was given them. But I may have dropped them the right way up, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, they're fine. Ta-da! So these are the red velvet cupcakes. So we're gonna pack, have a cup of tea and a cupcake, and then hit the road and go to the countryside. So I will see you in the countryside. Hooray! I am going to make us some spaghetti bolognese, and I'm going to use this. I've never used this vegan mince before. I've had their sausages, but when we've made veggie bolognese in the past, I've used lentils, which hasn't worked as well. So I'm really hoping that this will be great.
Frida had asked Ted if there was anyone she should call, and he had turned his sullen gaze on her. No, it's Dad and it's us, and if he's not there, there's no one at all.
We're playing a game of quacks, and Jean has made me a birthday cake.
Yes.
Let's see the birthday cake. Let's see the birthday cake. Yeah.
Done. It doesn't look as exciting from the top.
Ta-da! Yeah, but we'll cut into it and we'll show a side. Should we do that? Yeah.
Yeah,
let's do it.
sensible.
Let's do it.
It smells like Play-Doh. I think I put it in when it was too warm. Maybe I'll eat that, but I'm just manhandling it and everybody else.
We have come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you have been up to recently, and don't forget to check out Writing Magazine if that sounds up your street. As I said, there's a link down below to get you 25% off subscriptions worldwide, and they have an app as well where you can get a 7-day free trial. I hope you're all having a great start to the week. I will be back with another video soon. Lots of bookish love. Bye.